What else? Uh, yeah, let me go into the engine. I got the engine off Craigslist. It's from a '98 Firebird Trans Am. I got the engine and tranny. Got it for a really good deal. I mean, it works. If you can, try to get the LS engines, because if you run the LQ9s, it's a little bit more nose heavy. But I never weighed my car, so I really don't know how much more it would be. So whatever. But yeah. Also, if you're gonna get an LQ9, I mean, I was thinking about it. See, this is my first car and my first project car at the same time, whatever you want to call it. Unless you're really, really good at getting parts, or you know people that have cars, or you're already into the scene, if you want to call it, if that's what you want to call it. Then it'll be rather easy for you to convert an LQ9 to make it work in your car. But in order to run an LQ9, you have to get a new intake, F-body oil pan, and the LS1 accessory drive, because the accessory drive here won't clear it, because the truck accessory drive's more forward. Like honestly, unless you're gonna go all out, the difference between LS1 and LQ9, I would just try to, just man up and just get the LS1, because I don't know, it's just easier. I mean, but if you're trying to do a budget build and you don't mind waiting, you don't mind, scrounging for parts and stuff like that, then by all means do the LQ9, because it's a hell of a lot cheaper just for the engine. I think I was at the junkyard, it was like shit, I think $800. I paid $2,500 for the engine tranny, harness, and computer. But yeah. So unless you're gonna go all out and you don't really have a time frame, I would just do an LQ9. It's cheaper, and then you can run boost a lot easier. It's up to you, But I wanted the rate distribution to be equal, so I ran the LS, and it was easier for me. Yeah. And also, if you're on when I bought the engine from a guy, he gave me really, really valuable advice. It's like, don't kill yourself on the little things, like don't go in and put a new clutch and put a new upgraded intake and heads and cam and all that shit while it's already out, because then you're just gonna kill all your time and money trying to build up a car you're not going to be driving for the next year. It's better just to get the stock LS1 in. It's better just to get the stock LS1 in and just get it in and just drive the shit out of it. And then after you're done with getting the swap done, you can just dedicate a weekend and just do a heads cam swap, and then dedicate another weekend and do a diff swap, and then just take it small. So that's very, very, very valuable advice that the guy gave me. Really appreciate that. Yeah, the brakes, I mean, they work fine. This is stock Datsun brakes. I would not trust it for high performance driving. It kind of sucks. I'm probably gonna go to the Toyota 4x4 calipers and vented disc later when I have money. Yeah. What else? T56. What else? Oh, driving the car. Alright, when I had the inline six, it was a really cool feeling. Like, if you guys know what I'm talking about, if you're driving at like 4,500 RPM, and then it just starts pulling and makes this amazing power delivery, and you can't really replicate it. With the V8, it just, the feeling's not there anymore. Like, you're driving 2,500 RPM and you just floor it, and it just kicks you in the ass and you just fly. I mean, it's granted, it's an amazing feeling, but it's not the same. It's nowhere near the same as having a stock inline six. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a completely different car. Like, it's not. It's like the best way to put it. It's like a zombie. It still has the same face and everything, but just mentality-wise, it's a huge, huge difference. Like, in driving, like sometimes it feels like I'm driving a Camaro, which it's like whatever, I don't care. But like, it's not gonna have the same nostalgia as driving the stock inline six. If you want that nostalgia feeling, I would just recommend you to go to a 2J swap. I mean, I never driven a 2J Datsun, but I'm assuming it's the same shit. So yeah, but it transforms it to a completely different animal. Like, torque is almost instant. Like, you don't have to wait for it. What else? Yeah. I mean, the entire swap for me, it costed a hair under $6,000. So I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's around the average that people spend. If you're going to go wild, the sky's the limit. It can easily hit 10,000 like nothing. But just doing the basic, no bullshit swap, it's about be ready to spend about 5,000 to 6,000, unless you can get really good deals on your parts. Like you can get like a, I don't know, 5.3 Vortec for $400 and a T56 for 600. Then you got your engine and tranny for 1,100. Get an LS1 clutch 400. You got 15. You already have 15. And then you can probably get everything under maybe $5,000, maybe. So yeah. I don't know what else to say. Oh, yeah. I mean, some people, I was reading on the threads, they say that the hood clearance to the radiator isn't really good, yet it's actually hitting. For me, it never happened, so I don't know what happened. It's probably just an old design that JTR revised, so I mean, it works fine. There's no clearances between that. One thing that really scares me is the steering rod. I don't know if you can see it, but I think it's touching the header, which is, you know, scary considering how hot it really gets. So you can actually see like the stress marks or whatever you want to call it on the rod. Yeah, so that scares me a little. The intake, I mean, it's nice and everything. When you close it, it kind of hits the hinges. Let me see if I can replicate it. Okay, well, I can't replicate it, but sometimes it just hits the hinges. It's a little annoying, but whatever. Oh, for the sensors, right now I'm only running, since again, I ran out of money, I'm only running the stock oil pressure and the oil pressure, the fuel, and the volts. The volts is just freebie, whatever. And I'm technically only running 2 gauges. I do have the adapter for the Datsun water temperature sensor, but when I was doing the harness, I just cut out all the wires without thinking, so I kind of fucked it up, and I don't feel like searching for that wire. So right now I'm just running blind in terms of water cooling. So yeah, but the JTR kit, you can either do 2 things. You can buy the adapter from JTR. Where the hell is it? I don't know, it's literally right above the oil filter. You guys should know where I'm talking about. Let me go to night vision. What the hell is that? Okay, I don't know what that is, but it's in that vicinity. So basically you got the oil filter up here. Oops, let me zoom out. You got the oil filter up here, and then literally right above it, it was actually, I think, meant for the Corvettes. It was oil temperature like port or whatever, but the F-body's never used it, so it's just a blank dummy hole. And JCI, if you buy the Vital Liquids kit, basically you just take that out and you put in a new one, and it has the threading for the Datsun sensor. So I ran that. If you don't want to buy the JCI Vital Liquids set, what you could do is, what happened to me is, you see that bolt right there with the orange on it? That used to be my oil pressure sender or some shit like that, but when I was lifting the engine, I broke it in half. I was a dumbass, but yeah, so I just took a bolt, I just RTV'd it and put it down. It's holding up fine. If you want, what you could do is you could just buy a bolt like that and just drill it out and tap it, you know, do it for like $3. You know, that works also, because the oil pressure sender, or whatever you want to call it, it doesn't talk to the PCM, it just goes straight to your gauge. So like this, cutting out your LS1 oil pressure sender, it doesn't affect the engine in any way. So if you don't want to buy the adapter from JCI, you could just do what I did. Just, you know, take a bolt and put it there, drill it, tap it, whatever. Yeah. Right now, I'm assuming my car is making really low 300s or maybe high 290s to the wheel, because it's a 98 LS1. My future plans with the car is I want to do heads and cam. Something very streetable. I just want power under the curve. I really don't want to peak, you know, like a top end motor, you know, where you have to ride to 7,000, but yeah. And I want to run a 150 shot to the engine, hopefully wet or dry, I don't know, so I have to do more research. Yeah, overall my plans with the car is I just want to do the Toyota 4x4 brakes, some sort of disc brake in the back, maybe the 280ZX calipers and shit like that. Suspension wise, I'm just going to run basic coilovers. Still have to do my research on what kind of shocks I want to get, don't know, or if I have to section them. Still have to do more research. The differential, I'm almost 100% dead set. I want the the Q45 from the 300ZX twin turbos, the LSD, yeah. And do that, and hopefully I'll get stronger. I'll hook it up to stronger sub axles. Still have to do more research. So I really don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I want to run the Roto RBRs instead of the piece of shit tires I have. I think these are Akumas, yeah, Akuma 225s. And for references, it's an 18-inch rim wrapped on 225s with a 40 series tire. The guy, in order to run it, because it was a front-wheel drive offset, he had to run almost a 1-inch spacer. You can see right there. It's really tacky. It's kind of unsafe. I don't like it. Yeah, I might run ZGs with the big ass motherfucker flares on the back. I forgot who sells them. I think it was like Z Force Productions or something. Whatever. Yeah, so want to do that and just basically do a classic hybrids build. You know, just flare it out, V8 swap, 150 shot, and just haul ass, have fun in it. My next project's probably gonna be another Datsun or maybe a Factory 5 Cobra. It's probably gonna be another Datsun because it's a hell of a lot cheaper. And just do a 2J single turbo swap on that one. So that's later once I get back from college and actually have a real job. So yeah, yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Oh, steering effort's the same. Can't really tell the difference. So you don't have to worry about getting power steering and shit like that. AC, it's not hooked up. I don't need it. I do have the connections over here, but I didn't hook it up. I never use AC. It's overall a fun, really fun car to drive. I already beat a Civic on running on 11 psi, so that was pretty good. Yeah. I mean, at first when you drive the car, I mean, this is with any car, it doesn't matter on Datsons or not. Especially after you do an engine swap, because it's a huge before and after difference. Like when I first drove the car, it scared the shit out of me personally, because I wasn't like anticipating that much power. So like at first I was a little scared to drive the car because it was just so goddamn fast. But after a while, I get used to it, and you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. You get used to it, and you just want to go faster and faster and faster. So, you know, hopefully I'll do 10s in the quarter mile eventually one day. So, yeah. Let me also get in this. Shit. All right. When I pulled the intake out, I didn't pull the intake. When I pulled the throttle body out, I was just gonna intake. It was just coated with oil. So later on, when I have again more cash, whatever, I want to run a catch can system, so it'll just filter out all the oil, and then you know, everyone's happy. So you know, I want to do that. Yeah. So just basically a recap on the things I would, if I had to go back in time and if I had to fix the swap, I'd remount my PCM. That's probably my biggest regret. I'd fix my wiring. It's kind of ghetto. I love the cooling, the intake setup. I'm not going to change anything about it. What else? Like if you're on like a timeline, I was, because right now I'm in high school, so you know, on my senior year. So I wanted to have my car ready and drivable so I could, you know, drive it during senior year. You know, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. So I wanted to get my car. I wanted to do the swap really fast. So I started like, I think it was December 15th. I don't know. And I basically finished maybe more or less 2 weeks ago. I still have to do little things, but it doesn't really matter. So, you know, it took a little less than 3 months, which is not that bad. Most of my time was just waiting for parts. So, yeah, and school. So, yeah. What else am I forgetting? Yeah. Yes, that's really about it. I mean, if I do think of anything, in the meantime, I'll just put it in text in the thread, so just read that. So, if you guys have any questions or anything. Oh, also, I thought this was kind of cute. You can just run this. You can run the same oil pan cover, whatever you want to call it. It came with the stock Datsuns, so you know, it's a little bit more OEM-ish looking. So, yeah, yeah. So, yeah. All right, guys. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. All right. Bye-bye.